Hello. So today we are going to do a rest day review of my chest and shoulders day that I did a couple days ago. We're gonna take our rest day early and not do it tomorrow, but do it today, just because I was feeling kind of fatigued from working out as much as I have been. So decided to do this a day early, and then we should be back in the gym tomorrow for legs and triceps. So while I was waiting for the incline Smith machine, I did some pec deck flies just for a warm up, and we do it again later. So this is not the working sets here, just a warm up to get the blood flowing to the chest. But on these, I like to make sure I pump my chest up and have my chest above the level at where my hands would be. That way I'm kind of squeezing downwards and getting a good contraction on the chest. That's usually what I like to focus on in this movement, is just making sure you're getting a good squeeze, going all the way back, and then making sure those arms are straight when you do that full contraction. So the Smith machine took forever, and I didn't want to wait any longer, so I ended up doing incline dumbbells on a bench, which is very similar. The main difference being that the Smith machine, if you are by yourself, sometimes it's nice just because it is on a set path, so every single time you do it, it's going to be the same. So it helps with maintaining good form, and also if you fail on Smith machine while you're going up, you can kind of just rack it yourself. With incline dumbbell, if you are by yourself, it's just a little more scary if you can't get that last rep. You could always drop it to the side if you need to, but if there are people around you, just be careful when doing that. So this is my second warm-up set here, and you'll see on all of these, the main goal is to bring it down slowly, control the weight going down, and then you can explode up as quickly as you'd like to. But here you see, we bring it up all the way, and then I bring it down so it touches my chest, and then I bring it all the way back up. So you want all of your reps to look pretty similar to that first one. You don't want them, your form at least, you want it to be pretty consistent. And then I push my working sets towards failure, not maybe complete failure, but if I feel like I can only get one or two more, then that's usually good. So we finished that one there. And if you see here, this is typically how I like to get them up. I stand up and then rock back and use the momentum to get the dumbbells up. But this is my top set here of 85 pounds. And same idea, control it going down. You don't want to bring that weight down too quickly, because that's a lot of stress on your joints, and it can be dangerous if you do it incorrectly. So the one thing I'd say here is I do have my elbows out, like directly to my sides. I would probably tuck them in a little bit more so they're not completely flared out, and that'd probably just be a little bit safer. But it feels comfortable for me. I've been doing it that way for a while. I'll try to make a note of that next time I do it, just to be mindful of that. Next we have shoulder press. We're doing this one also on the bench with some dumbbells. I set the back pad to the highest setting, so it's as straight as it can be. Typically it's not completely straight, but it's close. And then same situation here, full range of motion. You want to bring the dumbbells all the way down so it taps your shoulder, and control it on the way down, and then when you're going up, you can go up as quickly as you want to. But I always start up with the warm-up set, because especially with dumbbells, if you make one bad movement, you can tweak something or pull something and you'll be hurt for a long time. So just really focus on good form when you're first starting out. If this is your first or second time doing it, I wouldn't even say like take it to failure. Just do a lighter weight for higher reps and get used to the movement, and then gradually work your way up. Usually I want to be in between like 8 to 12 reps for my working sets, but if you're new to it, you don't have to start there. You can start with higher repetitions and just really focus on perfecting that movement, because it will be helpful in the future when you're doing that heavier weight. You want to make sure that you have that down to a pretty set way of doing so. And same situation, to get them up, I like to put them on my knees, and then I will stand up slightly, rock back, and then use the momentum. Don't like launch them up, do it in a controlled manner, but that's just what has been the most efficient way for me to do it. It feels the most comfortable. The same situation, once you're comfortable with the weight, you want to just make sure you're maintaining good form, bringing those dumbbells down to your shoulders, and then just going to failure or very close to failure, where you feel like you can't get another one, where that was the last rep and I doubt I could have done one more, but if I could have done one more, I definitely could have done two. So being somewhere within that range of 1 to 2 left in the tank is a pretty good place to be. So now we're back to the pec deck fly, and you can see my setup here. You want to bring the arms. There's usually a setting, so you can set where the arm's starting position is. You usually want to set it as far back as you can before it's completely 180 degrees behind you, because you can set it for reverse pec deck or reverse flies, which basically just means you would sit on the seat backwards and then use it for your rear delts. So just bring the arms back so they are at the last lockout position before going fully to the reverse side, and that should be sufficient. But you can see here we're controlling the weight going back, we're not slamming it, and then when we squeeze it together, I like to extend my elbows and make sure my arms are as straight as they can be. And you can see that my hands are below my chest. That's what I was talking about before. I like to squeeze downwards and puff up my chest. It feels like I get a pretty good contraction doing it that way. I don't know if there is an actual like scientific benefit to doing it that way, but that is what feels most comfortable to me and gives me the best pump. So play around with it, see what feels most comfortable to you. You know, everyone's body is different, and you don't want to do something just because someone says to. If it's uncomfortable, then find a way that's comfortable to do it for you. The main focus on all your movements should just be controlling that weight going down, and then making sure you're doing a full range of motion for every movement that you do. And now we are going to do some cable flies. Cable lateral raises. This is for the side delt. So when you're doing these, I would recommend doing it with a light weight. I think I was only doing like 5 to 10 pounds here. But the main focus on these is getting your arm as high as you can and also as far away from you as you can while doing the movement. So imagine you're pushing out and away from you. And you just want to focus on getting the full range of motion, controlling it going down, and then getting that good stretch at the bottom too. So I try to stop it right before the weight stack hits the other weights, so it doesn't, you don't lose that tension that your shoulder is underneath. But these, you usually don't go heavy on these. If you're doing it with dumbbells or if you're doing it with cables, this is typically a movement that you just want to really focus on your form and focus on feeling that muscle and hitting that side muscle, that side delt, because it's very easy to bring other muscles into this movement if you're doing heavier weights. So I would just recommend keeping the weight light on this one and really focusing on feeling the muscle while you're doing the workout. So on shoulder day, I do try to hit all 3 parts of the shoulder: the front, the rear, and the side. So this was side. The dumbbell shoulder press earlier was the front, and then next we're going to do the rear. So typically I like to do the pec deck machine, like I was saying earlier, but I just do a 180 and I turn it into a rear delt machine. But I ended up trying face pulls today. I don't know if I was doing them correctly. This is the second time I've done them. I haven't had them like consistently in my program, but I was feeling a pretty good contraction on the back there, so I kept doing them. And with these, I would just say, when I was doing it with a rope attachment, and I would just try to bring the rope to my face and then bring my elbows out to my sides as I was doing it. And that's how I felt the good contraction on my rear delts there. But same situation as the other ones. Do it to close to failure or to failure, and really focus on your technique, controlling the weight going back, and you should be good. So that was the full day. We did 2 workouts for chest. We did incline, dumbbell, and then we did the pec deck fly, and then we did 3 different shoulder workouts. Typically I would have liked to do 1 more chest workout. I think the gym was busy at the time that I was there, so there weren't a lot of machines available. It's a small gym, so I just made it work with what I had. But typically I'd do 1 more chest workout if you want to do flat, or if you want to do some other variant of incline. Anything works. I have been leaning towards doing incline chest movements recently. I used to do a lot of flat bench pressing, but I switched to doing incline Smith. I just like the ability to kind of push yourself, and then you can also spot yourself if you're alone, which I've been working out alone a lot recently. So it's just been what I've had in my program. But do whatever you enjoy. Just make sure that you're hitting every muscle that you intend to hit during the day, and you should be good. Here we're just doing a little pose down. For the shoulders and the arms, you can see that portion there is the side delt. We're looking at the side shoulder here, and then also if you want to build more of that roundness in the back and in the front, that's what the front and the rear delt movements are for. But yeah, that was the chest and shoulder day. Please let me know if you have any recommendations or suggestions or questions. I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I will see y'all in the next videos. Thank you. Bye.